humans, it is I, Gravity Groove, here for a little not safe for work magic. We're doing a super late night stream tonight. I have been occupied basically all day, and I know Quick Draft does not last too terribly long, so we're just gonna go for one even though it is midnight, because I am a night person. I can tank it. Okay, we've got Strict Proctor. Remember, a permanent entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability to trigger. Counter that unless its controller pays 2. I don't think that's very good for this format. It is the rare, so we might take it regardless, but does not seem very good. Huh. Mage Hunter's Onslaught's pretty good. Rise is good. Closing Statement is good. Actually, there's a lot of good picks here. Mage Hunter's Onslaught is very, very good. Serpentine Curve, particularly good in Prismari, not so much in Quandrix. Clothing Statement, I keep calling it Clothing Statement. Closing Statement, I think I've only picked up once, and it was like a splash, and we just never ever drew it. Seems pretty good. It's got to be Rise or Closing Statement, right? Like, this isn't going to come back, obviously, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We should get something back in this pack. I guess you could even run Pest Summoning if we wanted. And I have not been Silver Quill or Orsov yet. Closing Statement or Rise. I guess we'll try Closing Statement. I hate to take a card that we might not end up being able to use, but it is a good card. Emergent Sequence, very good. Exhilarating Elocation, not so much. We know Dean is good. This is a second Serpentine Curve. Frost Trickster is pretty good. Emergent Sequence. Nothing here really that makes this usable. This is probably Dina or Emergent. Frost Trickster and Serpentine also pretty interesting, but they put us pretty far away from any hope of using Closing Statement. We could conceivably be Witherbloom deck splashing white to activate the statement, or Silver Quill deck splashing green to activate potentially Emergent Sequence. I have to assume this is Emergent Sequence here. Emergent Sequence does set you up for a potential ramp deck. Mage Duel, pretty great here. I don't think anything else is particularly close, and we know how hard it can be to get premium removal in this format. Pledge Mage is really good, which takes us pretty far away from Closing Statement, but these are 2 premium green cards. The other potential concern is Tend the Pests, but I'm kind of lukewarm on that. We've also got Elemental Summoning, which is a pretty good lesson. This is a great lesson, but we're not sure if we're going to be in blue yet. This we could cast even if we're not in blue. It might be slightly more difficult because of its cost, but I think it's the thing we're most likely to use out of all this stuff. Like if we take Mentor's Guide and we pivot back towards Witherbloom, it's just dead, but we could still conceivably cast this. It's like a second or third Tempest. Interesting. Expanded Anatomy, pretty decent lesson. Biomath, kinda weak, not really what we want to be taking here. Tempest. I don't know how powerful this card is. Seems pretty situational, honestly. Waterfall, Aerialist. Still not. I really wish there was just a solid green card here. Maybe we just take the colorless card to guarantee we get something we can play here. Hunt for Specimens, not terrible. Waterfall, Aerialist, not terrible. Since we're not sure if we're Quandrix or Witherbloom, yeah, we'll take a decent lesson. Needlethorn is very, very good. Really hard to explain just how good this is at both being able to block any sized creature and being a small enough casting cost that we can cast it early to stop like a poet or flying aggression from our opponents. That definitely pushes me more into being Quandrix. This statement might just be a dead card. That sucks. That first pack was just all good Silverquill stuff, right? Premium black removal, premium black removal, and premium Orzhov removal. It was Rise, Mage Hunter, and Closing Statement, if I recall. Interesting. So we have one blue card now. This isn't necessarily a card we have to play. Getting really mixed signals. Really mixed signals here. Pledgemate is quite good. We're certainly not running red. I found running a double blue card in a previous draft like this was a little risky, especially as a 2-drop. I'm more inclined to feel like that risk is okay if I'm in one of the colors for a 3-drop. But as a 2-drop, it's really hard to reliably get 2 of one color that early. I think the highest ceiling among these cards is probably the Pledgemate. Having a tough one. Having a real tough one to start here. Yeah, Crushing Disappointment definitely sums it up. None of these cards are particularly impactful. We could still run both of these in a Quandrix deck. Gosh, what a tough start. What an incredibly awkward and tough start. If we take Moldering and we end up just in Quandrix splashing something, like it's just a wasted pick. But a lot of these are starting to feel like they're wasted picks. So Tangle Trap, Crushing Disappointment, or Moldering Thing. Ugh. Just all terrible. It's just all terrible. Serpentine Curve, Aether Helix, and Cram are all good. So is Elemental Masterpiece, which we could be Quandrix splashing red. Serpentine Curve, Aether Helix, Cram, Elemental Masterpiece. Well, I wanna not be quite as dependent on splashing when we're this kind of spread out. I want to kind of hone in on the Quandrix pair if I can. So Helix, Curve, or Springmate. I assume it's gonna be Curve. Like, we want something that can make potentially big body, and if we get a critical mass of spells, this can do it. Soothsayer is unexciting. Infuse is sort of a kill spell, which does make it kind of attractive. Got one lesson. That's a reasonable lesson, but no learned cards yet. I think we're going to go with a high upside. Like, we might not play this, but if we do, it's going to be much more impactful than a soothing whatever. Probably nothing here for us. We could always end up in Witherbloom splashing blue. I don't think any of these cards are going to end up seeing our deck. Man, this is a real tough one to start. Cannot emphasize that enough. This is a real tough one to start. Activate only if you have exactly 0 or 7 cards in hand. That doesn't seem playable. Bookworm is tremendous and kind of puts us back into Quandrix. Expel also, of course, very good, but we're not going to go into yet another color. Not looking like Closing Statement is going to be able to make it. Bookworm and Cultivate are both very, very good. I have to assume it's Bookworm, though. It's just a great potential finisher. I gotta assume Bookworm's an A, right? Oh, Bookworm's considered a C by people? I'm baffled. Baffled why they would consider it that low. It's just such a potentially chonky finisher. Teachings of the Archaics. If an opponent has more cards in hand than you, draw 2 cards. Draw 3 cards if an opponent has at least 4 more cards than you. It's not even an instant. So you can't really guarantee you can even cast it. Probably have to take Simone here. I've never been able to play with this card, but seems good. Not really rare drafting tonight, are we? Scurrid Colony. Wow, look at the 800,000 million white cards. Okay. Scurrid Colony it is. Restorative Burst. Return up to 2 target creature, land, or planeswalker cards from your graveyard. Each player gains 4 life. Restorative Burst. Burying Books. Wormhole Serpent. Restorative Burst. Restorative Burst. Is this not even in the list? I don't even see this card. On no one's list, huh? How the hell do I How the hell do I evaluate it? I don't know if that's good. 5 mana, get 2 creatures back. I mean, what are we getting back? Bookworm's already going back. Pledge Mage. I guess Needlethorn is pretty good. Burying Books is really good, though. Probably have to take Burying Books. I don't think I'm going to end up with a single rare here. It's going to be pretty unusual. Another Serpentine Curve. Or another Infused with Vitality. I'm liking the idea more and more of trying to splash black here. To play the Infused with Vitality. One, two, three, four, five, six. We want another curve here or the Infuse. I mean, the curve is going to be more reliably good if we end up with a critical mass of spells. It's never going to be huge. It's usually going to be like a 4-4 to a 5-5 at most. Probably don't want more than one, do we? Not very exciting choices here. I guess if we don't... We want to try to not splash if we don't have to. I believe we have no learn cards. Only one lesson. Wow. That's also kind of unusual. I guess we could just take the Witherbloom here to make a splash easier in future. I don't hate that. Let's just do that. Ooh, Pop Quiz, Berry, or Needlethorn Drake. Whoa, man. Shit. These are all great. These are all great. Why do they all gotta be in the same pack? Fuck. Books is so good when people are just making giant tokens or like giant pledge mages and whatnot. I kind of value the first Pop Quiz, so I have at least some learn. Wow, Quandra's Cultivator is great. Something that'll ramp us into Bookworm. Hopefully we'll see a Fractal Summoning at some point. We have not seen one yet. Nothing here is really good. I mean, we can play this if we have to. We have a few 2-drops. Not something I'm excited to play. Arcane Subtraction seems pretty good here. It'll give us another learn card, and we can aim to get at least 1, if not 2 more good lessons. That would be ideal. Reckless is also fine. I've played that in a lot of decks. I like having 4 to 5 2-drops if at all possible. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're already kind of there. Golden Ratio I've been really lukewarm on. Like, you need to get pretty wide for it to feel like that's doing much. Yeah, I'll take a Reckless. I'd rather have that than a Befuddler anyway. I don't think Solve the Equation is worth it. Resculpt. Is this playable? Like, I haven't played it in any deck, but like, if you're super desperate, is it playable? I don't think so. I could potentially splash a Spectre of the Fen. I guess a Vortex Runner is another late game win condition. We've lost to Vortex Runners, so that's a consideration. What do you have for tricks? Currently Arcane and Mage. Well, it's not really a trick. Currently Arcane. Square up might be fine. Infuse doesn't get a ton of value. Well, really no value other than on Cultivator, or I guess Bookworm, drawing a free card and kind of tempoing an opponent out. We've got one other black source we haven't seen in Environmental Sciences. Spectre would be a pretty decent splash, so would Infuse. We don't really have any flyers or much to combat the flyer strategy at the moment, which makes us very, very vulnerable currently to Orsov. Square up or Infuse. We might splash. We might just end up splashing. I wouldn't run 2 rejects. If I get another Witherbloom Campus or Environmental Sciences, maybe I am going to splash a few cards. Elite Spellbinder, we've already got 4 of those because we had it on a deck, and it has no current place in our deck. Mage Duel is probably what we have to pick here. It is a concern that I don't have a lot of big creatures to make Mage Duel reliably powerful, but it's removal, and removal is generally the most important thing in a game where, like, you can lose to Rutha just being on the board. Emergent Sequence also pretty damn good, but I think we got to take the Mage Duel here. It would be nice if we do see another, I was going to say, curve in a place we can pick it, because we are starting to assemble a very large number of spells. Choose land or non-land. Reveal cards from the top of your library and to reveal a card of the chosen kind. Just a funky cantrip in this format. Harvest. This is very strange. So it's Eureka Moment, Intro to Annihilation, or Serpentine Curve. Intro gives us a nice piece of sideboard removal for our 2 learn cards, which I believe are Subtraction and Pop. But it's not, like, you never want to be doing this, right? It's good to have as an option. I think we want the second curve more. I feel like we want to have more creatures to make sure, these 2 Maze Duels aren't often stranded in our hand. Quandrix Apprentice. Oh, fuck. Both of these are great. And the fact that they're both in this pack sucks so much. It's a 2-drop that can draw you a lot of virtual cards, and we are very spell heavy. It is a premium 2-drop. Fuck. Oh, shit on a shit with a shit. I gotta take it. If we don't end up with 2 lessons, it's gonna suck, but... Fucking Time Warp. What? The fuck? It's Time Warp. Okay. It's fucking Time Warp. you can quote me, the Sage. It's fucking Time Warp. Yes, it's good. Well, we have 1 lesson, so currently another Arcane Subtraction doesn't help us all that much, but Needlethorn Drake is great. Kelpie Guide, also pretty damn good, as well as another Needlethorn Drake. Wow, just great great shit here. Kelpie Guy just kind of closes the door if you get to the end game with this thing in play. Wow, Leyline Invocation is fucking boss. Expanded Anatomy would be great as a second, but honestly, I'll just use one of my learns as a rummage. It's fine. Taking the other campus would make it pretty reliable, I think, for us to splash if we want to try to splash the 2 Infuse with Vitalities. To have even more removal and nastiness, but I don't know if it is really necessary at this point. We have pretty decent stuff. What's our 2-drops look like? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty fucking great. Would I run this? Like, it just dies to everything. It just seems like it dies to everything. And I don't know that I'm splashing either, but I wonder if I should take the Waterfall over the, You know, we'll play a game without splashing, I think, and then we'll decide if we want the option. It'll be nice to have. Servan. Our 3-drops are pretty good. Pretty good. Witherbloom is just a big fat boy, and if we've got a lot of spells, I do like the idea of the Witherbloom. Big Play or Eureka Moment. Both of these are pretty reasonable. Big Play, a much better trick, of course, than Square Up, because you get a little value out of it and you win a trade. It also gives reach, so it can be a nice way to not absolutely get bombed out by flyers. We are approaching a pretty above average creature count too. We've got 16 creatures with Leyline Invocation and 2 curves. That's pretty nuts. We might actually end up cutting a curve, or maybe a couple small creatures. Eureka Moment or Big Play is the big question. I guess we don't have a lot of card advantage, huh? We've got Zimone, we've got the Quandrix, and that's it, really. I guess Bookworm. We also aren't doing much at 4, so I feel like Eureka Moment's the more playable card there. Does not look like we're going to end up getting access to a lesson, unfortunately. Probably not playing the Biomaths. Would have been nice to have a chance at a second lesson, but we just never got a really ideal opportunity for that, to make that happen. And yes, it is indeed a crushing disappointment. Learn cards aren't doing a heck of a lot here, folks. Reject seems pretty reasonable. I have not played with it yet. Maybe creatures aren't what we're worried about most of the time, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe we're cutting one of our 2-drops. Reckless Amplifier has been fine in previous builds, but I do think because we have Leyline and Serpentine Curve, we want to be a little more spell heavy. We're at a 3.5 average, but that's because these boys are dragging it way, way, way up. I could see going to 16 land. One of these is not really enough to make that super ideal, but we do have a Mentor's Guidance and a Pop Quiz. And Bookworm is a pretty good thing to waste mana on in the late game. This is like a pseudo land as well. So like half a land, half a land. Huh. Going to 16. Would we want to go to 16? Plus we have Eureka Moment and Pop Quiz and Mentor's Guidance. If we're not splashing too much black, I guess we just want the Witherbloom to make these two a little more castable. Let's go 8 and 8. Let's try it. If I end up feeling like I need 17, we'll just go back and add 1. We'll play 41. It really sucks to flood in Vesta 1 more than anything. We've got Zimone. We've got an Arcane. Sure, we're gonna try it. But we may end up regretting our life choices. Lash. Could this be a lash? Eat your fish, man. Opponent's reading hard. Doomblade on Simone. Okay, that's well, that sucks. Thanks. Now we're not going to have to discard. Thanks a lot. Man, our opponent has Doomblade and Agonizing Remorse, like A-level starting cards. And also, they have Tron, naturally. Every land they need on turn 3. Sure. Well, let's hope this doesn't get Doombladed. Guess it doesn't matter what color we get here. Our opponent did not Doomblade us, so we got that going for us. If we draw a land, that would be incredibly perfect. Based on how this feels and how powerful our top end is, I think we're gonna go back and put the 17th land in. Like, our end game is just too good with Leyline and Bookworm and all the Witherblooms to not want to worry about this sort of problem. Sure. Mana problems be gone. Okay, so we're just gonna do this, and this, this. Now we just need to draw some of those sweet cards. Looks like Kelpie Guide might be getting lashed. Opponent seems like they have a lot of removal. They're considering everything very carefully. Okay, Amplifier. Not that big a concern. Cross Trickster, pretty great. Sure. Needlethorn Drake is fine. Pretty unexciting, obviously. He knows about burying books, so basically whatever he anatomies, we're going to have to bury. The best target, of course, being the Reckless Amplifier. Our sad sideboard having only one lesson in it. Lots of 2-drops. Opponent's deep in the tank right now. Another land. Okay, so we played kind of a low land count, and we're flooding anyway. We've got 4, 5, 6, 7. We're one land away from Kelpie Guide being active. Yeah, guess we're just going to continue to do nothing here. The amplifiers may eventually have to be dealt with. It's like a bit of a mirror match, I guess. If we get a land, they're really going to have to deal with the Kelpie. I guess expanded anatomy on the Witherbloom is pretty good because we can't just arcane subtraction that down and trade off with the Needlethorn Drake. Though we could block it with like the Cultivator and the Pledge Mage. Honestly, kind of a sticky board state. Okay, well, I mean, the Kelpie Guide is now active. Yeah, okay. That sucks. That's actually really good. Like, we don't want to discard either of the cards in our hand. Do we cast Subtraction? I forgot to tap something. I guess it doesn't matter. We don't really have good attacks. We can't give up Burying Books because we know he has Anatomy. This is going to be really hard to win. We've got this colossal board stall state. Yeah, I don't know what we do here. I don't know how this improves. We've got nothing to generate any significant advantage. We don't really have any good attacks. He took my Arcane, so now my Witherbloom trades pretty poorly. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. It's just going to be one of those, I see my opponent's entire deck matchups, huh? I guess we tap the Needlethorn Drake. Oh, fucking bullshit. Fantastic. He is a goddamn mythic rare in his fucking deck. We have Time Warp, but at this point it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. God damn it. This fucking game, man. Does it always have to come down to this? Just mythics and bomb rares. Otherwise you get into actual fucking hell. So now we tap the Needlethorn Drake. We tap the fucking Witherbloom, I guess.
I never thought I'd miss the library.
If there was a time to draw Time Warp, it was now. We really need him to not have any other interaction. Like if he has a counter spell for Time Warp, we're just beyond fucked. Like if he has Negate. Or I think we can play through Whirlwind Denial. Is it 4 or 3 for Whirlwind Denial? Infused with Vitality. So now our option is to Bury in Books this instead of Time Warp. That gives him one more activation here, but yeah, I think we have to. I think it's just the higher value play. I think him getting one more activation doesn't matter as much.
You are such a disruption.
Like he can make us sack our 8/8, but we still get to kill his professor. And drawing another land there is really good for us.
It was going to die eventually anyway.
Yep. So we tap his Needlethorn Drake. Uh-huh. Swing away, baby. So, let's see. Drawing another land there is pretty awful. But, now we tap this. If he pumps this till end of turn, it'll take it out of being able to be pumped next turn. Is it worth sacrificing the Witherbloom now? So we attack both here. Well, one here, one to him. We attack the 4/4. We can't really attack the 4/4 either. Our attacks are still pretty bad, honestly. Do we even Time Warp here? Is the question. I guess if this is a removal spell, that answers the question for me. Like, he had to have that, right? I'm going to target myself. Yeah, we're just going to try again. He does not have enough. Oh wait, 1, 2, 3. Oh, he does. Okay, so we can tap this now. Still not like a lethal attack. It's a decent one. Okay. So we can just chump the amplifier next turn if we have to. Well, we played through a Professor Onyx. We beat a Mythic with our Mythic. We've still got Serpentine and Leyline. Oh no, we lost Leyline Invocation. So we've still got Serpentine. What else do we have? Serpentine's going to be pretty decent here. So he can tap our Needlethorn Drake. Oh wow, just packing it in. Okay. Cool. I mean, you can't say he didn't deserve that. He played Professor Onyx on me. I still think I kind of want to just go ahead and add another land. I mean, that worked out, but how many spells do we have? We have 12 spells for 2 Serpentines. That's probably enough, right? Five, 4, 6, 8. Let's try one with 17. We do kind of want a lot of land, I think. Yeah, that was a brutal game 1, huh? Apprentice on 2 into Pledge Mage on 3 is pretty bonkers. Our opponent is Platinum, which is extremely bad for us. Assuming that we're gold. Okay, we've got 4 lands. We'd like to not draw land for a little while. Opponent also has all their colors immediately forever. No shock, no shock, no shock. One time, no shock. Accelerating straight into 4. Pretty scary. Accelerating straight into 1,000,000. Pretty scary. How many colors are you? Okay, just 3. The scariest 3. Okay, so next turn we'll have Arcane Subtraction and Zimone. Seems pretty decent. Draconic Intervention would completely crush my shit right now. All good cards. Like, just all very, very good cards. Little wheel spinning going on. That is the scariest card in that color combination, and we have no interaction for it whatsoever. So that's extremely bad. That's extremely bad. And he has tons of mana to abuse it. We probably lose the game. We probably lose the game right here. Okay, didn't duplicate it yet. It's pretty good for us. Continuing to be very, very scary, though. Jesus fucking Christ. This is ridiculous. The amount of ramp this guy has gotten is fucking ridiculous. A treasure, a cultivate, and a cultivator. We haven't missed a land drop yet. He's at 7 land. Fucking Christ. I'm just going to cast this to try to find that land. Obviously, we're really looking for mage for the mage hand, whatever the fuck it is. I guess we're just going to time warp to get another crack at it, honestly. We want the island. I will 110% trade this for Rutha. Like, not even close in my mind. Well, now I get nothing. Done here. Yep. I'm done there. Now, Gravity Groove, you might say. You could have still played that game. There were a lot of things that can happen. And I say, yeah, that's possible. But we just cast a Mythic Rare and got blown out by a common in a situation where basically any spell he was going to cast and duplicate was going to end the game the next turn. So that game was over. There may have been a 1% chance to win, but I don't like wasting my time for percentage chances that low. Just moving the fuck on is what I value. This is pretty damn unfortunate. So is this. Holy fuck. Double blue into double green. Double blue into double green. Into triple green. Yep, well, we lose this one too. Cool. Very good. Yep. Good game, opponent. Good game. Yep. Good game, opponent. What would you have done there, folks? We kept, we mulled the double blue because we had no castables. We got a double green into a triple green. Would you mulligan again in a 17 land deck? I think that would be incorrect. Nice after that first long interactive game to just have two games where we could not win at all. Very good. Very, very good. Well, at the very least, we're highlighting what I don't like about this format. And more importantly, we're highlighting our horrible, incredible, insipid, powerful bad luck. Which, you got to see on full display there. Okay. So probably Silver Quill here. Fifth land gets us Pledge Mage, pretty good. Yeah, it's a wizard. Do this. Needlethorn Drake seems pretty good. I'm gonna take that. And there's our fifth land. Take that. I don't think using Mage Duel on this critter is worth it. Looks like our opponent's got the color screw like we had last game. Oh, no, they drew out of it. We did not. Promising Dust Mage. It's another Mage Duel. I guess we could kill that. Is that worth it? No, I don't think that's worth it either. if he drops a Pledge Mage here, the Mage Duel will be very good. Ooh, Wrangler. Yeah, definitely eating that. Definitely very, very happy to eat that. Chew on the lovely carcass of this creature. And play this. We'll attack with this. Looks like something resembling a game of Magic right now. Excited to see how it's going to go horribly, awfully wrong. That's fine. That's not bad. Arcane Subtraction, huh? Cast this. Get a Forest. Just leaves up Subtraction. Sure. You could play the woe thing, the like 7/8 or whatever it is. That would kind of brick me. Spectre's not that big a concern. Neither is Blood Researcher. Sure. Yep. It's going to be disappointing if we went 1-3 with this pile, but you know, with how things went for those last two games, not a lot you can do when things go like that. Can't believe we beat Professor Onyx in our first match, then just got absolutely shit on in our second match by our opponent's absolute perfection. And Rutha being just insanely broken as an uncommon. If you ever see Rutha, you have to go Prismari or some form of splash. That's just the law. We've got 5 2-drops, I believe, 6 2-drops for creatures. Scurrid, Emergent, Needlethorn, Apprentice, Simone. So we have a decent chance of drawing a 2-drop. Yeah, we have to keep that. If we don't get anything, it'll suck, but... Eh... Whoa. Holy fuck, that is really scary. Oh boy. Holy shit. Again, we're facing a platinum opponent. Yeah. This is really scary, folks. Let's discard Serpentine Curve. This really doesn't do much. really pray our opponent doesn't have removal for this thing we're going to play here. We have Leyline or Pledge Mage next turn. Fuck you, dude. Like, you just knew 100% he was going to have exactly what he needed. What an absolute fucking piece of shit. Unreal. Unfucking real. Bury and books me, please. So all three of our losses, all three of our losses were instantaneous. Instantaneous. We had no lines that could mitigate them at all. Just instant, overwhelming, complete and utter losses. With no interaction whatsoever. Just nut draws out of our opponent. Absolute fucking perfection. Yeah. Okay. Holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. Oh my god. Okay. Well, I need to not play this fucking game for a while. This was such a good deck. Like, such a good deck. So fucking powerful. And we never once got to cast Bookworm. We played 3 games where we just absolutely got stomped. They were one-sided and completely unwinnable. Our opponent drew the absolute fucking nuts in 2 of these games. One, we just got screwed by the deck, which, you know, is pretty common. There was no possible lines we could have taken that were different here. I feel like our choices ended up piloting us really good. We ended up with very powerful cards that we did not get to use at all because, again, we got completely fucked. This happened with our Boros deck, where we got really powerful cards that I was excited to use, multiple Pigment Storms, multiple rares, and we just got screwed in every possible fashion. So I know a lot of y'all out of there are probably thinking, like, man, this guy is relentlessly negative, but if you have the kind of luck that I have in this game, with the consistency that I have this kind of luck in this game, you'd feel the same. You really get sick of knowing that you're a player capable of getting to a fucking Pro Tour Unlimited, so capable of high-level decision-making and problem-solving, and repeatedly getting just absolute fucking bullshit draws to the point where you never get to play the game. It's like I'm walking to these games and pulling out a deck of fucking playing cards trying to beat decks of Magic, and it's not working. It's not working, folks. Hopefully this was cathartic for some of you out there who also have bad luck to watch me get absolutely stomped into oblivion. I'm going to have to take a few days off. This has happened too many times recently, and it's making it so that every time I fire up the client, I just don't want to fucking play at all. So if you've been watching, I really appreciate it, and it's cool that I've got a few people out there who enjoy the stuff I've been doing, but I'm not really supported. I don't really have anyone who sort of subscribes to me or donates. So if I disappear forever, it doesn't really make a dent in the content creator economy. And if this is just going to be this stressful for me, I gotta do something else, folks. Thanks for watching. For those who have been longtime fans of the show, and maybe I'll see you again sometime.